Arts is on the board, right? Anyway, I want to thank a number of people. First of all, since this is a film about land and the importance of land, I'd like to thank the Coast Salisha people for the land that we are on. For people like myself, who come from a very small island, we travel all over the world, but we know that there's a place we can always go back to, and therefore we know how special the land is. And so our hearts are with indigenous people all over the world who no longer have or own their land. There is a saying, and this is in solidarity with the people of West Papua, and you probably heard this before. It goes like this: the moral arc of life is long, but it bends toward justice. I'd like to thank the Rights and Democracy University Victoria Student Club, particularly the following individuals. Jeremy over here, Kent, Kat, and Danielle, and all the other students who helped put this event together. Could you please join me in giving them a big hand? I also wanted to thank the Pacific People's Partnership, particularly April and Heidi, as well as my wife, for training our way here and for welcoming us and treating us as though we're very special people. We appreciate that. I wonder if I know there's some Rotumans here. I don't know if there are any Rotumans in the audience here. Any Rotumans? I guess they've all seen this several times. We took it to Rotuma, and I know that the Rotuman diasporic community everywhere, because it's the first feature film made on the island. It was made really, from my point of view, to try and document the language, which is fast disappearing, the ways of life of the Rotuman people, the values, the history, where they came from. That's why it begins with the founding myth of the island, of the brothers and the sisters, and the abandonment, and so on. So I guess part of the reason the film is like that, because I'm, an academic, and very interested in researching my own culture and documenting it. And I felt that the most effective way to do that is through film, rather than by writing a book, because I'm sure if I wrote a book, you wouldn't read it, right? Film, all here, and we're sharing that experience. And as you can tell from the beginning, it says a film for Rotuman. It was really made for them. But if you, who are not Rotuman, should find a resonance with the themes, with the issues being explored, then I'm very glad to know that, because I guess that's one thing we all share. We all share very similar dreams, hopes, and fears. And so even though what just so happened on a very tiny island, way out there in the South Pacific, I'm sure there are aspects of it that perhaps touched you in some small way, perhaps.